All right, grades K1, 2. This week our book is This Little Scientist. Asking why, then making a guess. Asking how, then proving with tests. Little scientists make great big discoveries. Isaac Newton, this little scientist, said, "We walk on the ground because gravity stops us from floating around." Isaac Newton also found a rainbow of colors called a spectrum inside a beam of light and figured out the 3 rules for how objects move. Maria Sibylla Merian. This little scientist painted bugs everywhere, laying eggs, eating leaves, even flying midair. Maria Sibylla Merian's paintings explain such things as how caterpillars turned into butterflies through a change called metamorphosis. I love that. Science and art together. Marie Curie, this little scientist, did experiments to show that atomic energy made uranium rocks glow. Marie Curie studied invisible atoms that give off energy particles she named radioactivity. She was the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes in chemistry and physics.
Hey, Mr. Riker, is Vanessa available to talk to me? I'm at a recess.
Albert Einstein. This little scientist had wild white hair. He was famous for writing E equals mc squared. Albert Einstein's equation means that energy, that's the E, and mass, that's the m, are the same thing in different forms. He said nothing can go faster than the speed of light, 186,282 miles a second. Grace Hopper. This little scientist wrote code that was new to tell computers and words what we want them to do. Grace Hopper programmed computers and words instead of numbers. She popularized the term computer bug when a moth flew inside her computer and broke it. That's interesting. I never knew that that's how they came up with that, a bug in your computer. Katherine Johnson. This little scientist got the math right to help NASA astronauts launch outer space flight. Katherine Johnson solved hard math problems on paper before trusted computers were available, so space heroes like John Glenn could safely orbit the Earth. Jane Goodall. This little scientist studied chimpanzees and made friends with them among African trees. Jane Goodall discovered that chimps hug their friends and make tools like spoons out of sticks. Before this, people thought only humans made tools. Sao Lan Wu. This little scientist has a brilliant spark. She helped find particles called gluon and charm quark. Su Lan Wu studied particles, the smallest being the blocks of our universe. And atoms, protons, and neutrons are made of quarks stuck together by gluons. Stephen Hawking. This little scientist studied outer space surprises like mysterious black holes that form in many sizes. Stephen Hawking made big news by explaining how some particles might escape black holes, which have gravity so strong that everything nearly falls into them. Neil deGrasse Tyson. This little scientist helps us understand how our universe works and how it began. Neil deGrasse Tyson visited the Hayden Planetarium as a boy and got excited about stars and planets. He grew up to be the director of the planetarium. Quarks, robots, or DNA, what would you like to discover someday? And if your classroom gets this book, it has all of these different scientists and things they discovered. These are scientists that were not read about in the story, but there are other scientists that you could learn about. And then there's the very important scientist at the end, you. All right, so K12, good luck.